In this training, we're going to discuss how to input income into a Voyant plan. To do that, we're going to go again to our plus button in the bottom right-hand corner. We're going to select the income tile. We're going to use the employment income option here. If you did have other income that is non-taxable or something that is non-traditional income, you would use the other income section. Also, if you have a sudden windfall, such as an inheritance that's coming into the plan one time, you can use the windfall option. But in this example, we're going to use employment income. We're going to call this Judy's employment income, and we're going to give this an amount. We're going to enter in her annual bonus amount, and we're going to note the growth rate, which is 3%. This is coming from our plan settings section. You can leave this as it is, or with feedback from the client, you can also click edit and adjust it if you need to, or you can always just return it to the defaults. I'm going to go over here to timing and just note that the income is going to be in the plan from plan start until when Judy is scheduled to retire. And then in the steps section, this is a great way to step that income up or down at any point during that employment period. So if Judy is planning to go part-time in the last few years of her employment period, you could model that here. I'm going to do that in this example just to show you how we would do that. If we wanted to, say, cut her employment income in half for the last couple of years of employment, we can do that. Let's see, she retires at her age 65, so let's go back a couple of years and create an event on the timeline. Look for the part-time job event and give this a name. Judy goes part-time. We're going to set that as a step in the plan. So I'm going to click done to save that. And then I'm going to do save and add another, and we're going to do Philip's employment. So Philip. Let's see, he makes about the same amount. It's a $10,000 bonus annually, and let's say he plans to work full-time the entirety of his employment, and we'll just click done to save. And you'll now see on the cash flow chart that we have blue coming into the cash flow chart, and that represents all inflows from their employment income. And you can see here that we have a black total need line, and what that represents is the total expenses, goals, and estimated taxes in the plan. You'll also see this surplus income in the plan. Now, if we go back into our plan settings, I just want to remind you in our calculation settings that we do not have this save excess income or transfer all excess income toggled on by default in the software. So right now we're assuming that all of their excess income is spent. If you did want to transfer all of their excess income to savings, you would toggle this on. And let me show you what that would do. Now that we have toggled that on, you'll see that it now says to savings. And where that's going to go is to their default surplus accounts. These are nominal accounts that are automatically created by Voyant for each person in the plan. And so now if we go into year view and we go to our investment accounts, you'll see that surplus income is going into their cash accounts now. And that'll just be growing until it's needed in the plan. So for example, in the years where we have the family vacation or perhaps a car purchase, we might withdraw from those accounts as needed. And then if we toggle that back off, those monies are going to be assumed spent. Another thing I wanted to point out to you is that now that we have employment income, we're also going to be accounting for federal income tax on that employment income, as well as Medicare, Social Security, and state income tax on that employment income. Going over to our Let's See chart, I'm going to switch to our dual chart option and point out to you that you can also look at the taxes chart, turn on details, and see a bit more information about those taxes, looking at them side by side as well. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, remember that you can always click the name of your client in the top right, hit request support, enter that question into the text box, share client access, and that'll send your client case and your question over to our support team. Thanks for listening.